Hey, what's going on, everyone? I'm back for another Slim Sports interview. And as always, I'm your host, Jay Slim. And joining me today is a 6'2" defensive lineman that knows how to get at the quarterback with the best of them from Northern Illinois, Devonte O'Malley. What's going on, man?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Beyond blessed to have you on, somebody of your caliber with all the accolades that you've gotten just this past season alone. Uh, Beyond happy to have you on. And I want to talk real quick so viewers can know just how awesome you are about those accolades in a segment that I like to call Rewind and Recap. I rewind the clock, tell people about what you've done. And first off, got to start it off. You had a big game that we'll get to here in a little bit. But after that game, you ended up earning National Defensive Player of the Week 2 weeks into the season. Ended up leading Northern Illinois in sacks with 8 on the season, one of the top in the MAC. Uh, Ended up earning all MAC first team honors as well to go with those numbers that you put up. And at the end of the season, Hero Sports recognized you as a G5 second team All American. So a lot of great accolades to your name, to especially to wrap up your collegiate career. You've done so much for this Northern Illinois program at that defensive lineman position. And you, like I said, you put up some numbers, helped them to a lot of wins. What was it about your game, your style of play, where you were able to cut through the offensive line like Swiss cheese, get to the quarterback for sacks, QB pressures, all that stuff?
I mean, so I didn't always play defensive line. So in high school, I played receiver actually. So putting the weight on, I still have my twitch. So being able to be, what I'm saying, this big and like twitching and fast, is a advantage I have against offensive linemen.
Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense with the highlights that I saw. You were able to move pretty good. You had the spin move,
Yeah.
hit that little swim move on some people, so that makes a lot more sense there. And you move into that defense, man. You helped that defense for Northern Illinois. You guys were ranked as a top overall defense in the MAC, and you ranked top 5 nationally in yards allowed. You were not giving up yards to those teams, and it was absolutely incredible what you were doing. The max points you guys allowed in a game was 28 against Western Michigan. Never allowed 30 or more points in a single game, which nowadays that's hard to do throughout a season.
Oh, definitely.
So, what was it about this Huskies defense that was so elite 1 through 11?
So I mean, obviously, you guys see the players play, what I'm saying? Y'all don't see, what I'm saying, the practices, the game film we go through. I'll have to give a credit to Coach Benedetto, what I'm saying? He came in, what I'm saying, when we were in triple digits in defensive numbers. And with the defensive scheme he has, he turned our defense around and we all just play it as one, and this is like the the stats speak for itself.
Yeah, you guys did a tremendous job. You yourself, I talked about those numbers, 38 tackles on the season, 23 solo, 8 sacks on the year as a whole, 11 and a half tackles for loss. Just helped your team do what they do best. And you ended up leading them to back-to-back bowl game wins. A year ago, you guys ended up going against Arkansas State, got the win there. This past season, you ended up playing Fresno State in the Idaho Potato Bowl, got that win in double OT, 28-20. How did you guys step up as a unit to get that big time bowl game win over Fresno State and stay strong throughout the double OT?
Yeah, I knew halftime, it didn't look good at all. I'm gonna be honest, come in at halftime, we all went to the locker room, heads down. I'm the guy. I'm just not gonna just sit around and just wait for coach to talk. So what I'm saying, I said what I had to say. Whether they took it the wrong way or not. I'm gonna get everything off my chest. Like yo, we have to lock in. This team is not better than us in any way, shape, or form. You feel me? So as soon as we get back out there, we gotta put pads to, what I'm saying, like just get going. And after we came out from halftime, it was like a spark. A spark just came out of nowhere. And we started playing Husky football, which we should have been playing in the first half, but I'm glad he was able to fight, and just finish it out.
Hey, that right there, that shows the kind of leader that you were for the program. Obviously, your 5th year with the Huskies. So you were a guy that people looked at to be that vocal leader because not only were you the guy that could talk the talk, You walked the walk. You did what you had to do on the field. You made some big time plays. And I want to talk about some of those plays in a segment that I like to call Make That Play. Pretty self explanatory right there. I looked through your film, looked through clips on YouTube, Twitter, and you had a lot of great plays, man. But I have my top three right here. But I do want to ask you this. What was your top play, in your opinion, from this past year?
I mean, obviously, every play I made against Notre Dame, um, going into that game, um, it was a lot of doubts. People saying we ain't gonna win. Um, you know, I like to know what other teams think. So I looked at the scouting report. It was like I haven't showed up in big time games and X amount of years that I've been here. Spelled my name wrong, like they didn't care. Just stuff like that. Saying I'm undersized. So, and the cherry on top, we watched the interview from the head coach after they played Mississippi State, I believe, or Texas A&M, one of them, and he said something along the lines of, "You don't prepare for next week. I don't even know who we played next week, and they played us." So that kind of really left a chip on my shoulder. Like you don't just go out there and just trash talk your opponent. So yeah,
Oh yeah, you definitely made some big time plays, and rightfully
definitely,
so, especially after they're gonna disrespect you like that. And
yeah,
I have one of those plays as number one on my list. Big time sack against Notre Dame, where you fought through the block and you got right to the quarterback. Not only did you get to the quarterback, but you dragged the offensive lineman with you. He was trying to block you, and you said, "Hey, you want to come with? That's fine." Brought him along, got the QB, brought them both down for a big time sack against Notre Dame. Uh, and what ended up being a history making game for you guys. We'll get a little bit more into that here in a sec. Number two, I got a big time sack against Akron. Start of the fourth quarter, you ended up charging right through the center of the O line, and quarterback saw he had fear in his eyes because you knocked him to the ground, 10-yard loss there. And then against Miami, Ohio, very talented team in the MAC, one of the best this past season in that conference. You got a sack against them later on in the third quarter, where we talked about those receiver skills. You hit that swim move right past the
yeah,
offensive guard, and you stuffed the quarterback for a loss of 8 yards. So those three right there, those were my top plays that you had this past season. Obviously, you had a lot more. You had a strip sack against Notre Dame as well. I do want to mention that heading into this next question, because now that I didn't know about, the scouting report, them disrespecting you guys like that. So now
yeah.
this question means a lot more to me when I ask it. How would you describe that game against Notre Dame? You just mentioned it. They didn't think highly of you or your guys' team. They weren't even thinking about you guys. And you guys went in, beat them 16-14, a top five nationally ranked team. And beating them ended up getting you guys a national ranking the following week. I believe you guys were like 23 or something,
22, I think. Yeah,
22. So what was that like going against Notre Dame, a high level pro, getting that win and proving, hey, Northern Illinois is here to play?
yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I never was a Notre Dame fan. My mom's side of the family, they're all crazy Notre Dame fans. So I kind of, what I'm saying, grew up liking them. So when I saw him on the schedule, I was like, all right, ain't no more, what I'm saying, fan. You feel me? It's time to get to work. Um, when we got there, it was cool. They said it was like sold out, like packed out house. I did like the atmosphere. I love the crowd, the engagement, all that. But I mean, it was just kind of like a surreal moment. Like I'm actually here, playing. Uh, and I had to do what I had to do.
Mhm. Yeah, you did exactly what you needed to do. Ended up having two sacks, four solo tackles, and a forced fumble in that game. That win, you guys ended up going on, had an 8-5 overall record, and 4-4 in a very tough MAC conference this year. Northern Illinois overall, like I said, I mean, just dominant win after dominant win. And that bowl game against Fresno State, like you said, you guys uh, ended up going getting that double OT win. How would you say your performance throughout the season helped your team get these big time wins? You mentioned before Notre Dame had you on the scouting report saying didn't show up in big time games. Well, you helped your team get that Fresno State game win over Notre Dame, some big time wins in MAC conference action. How would you say your performance on the field translated to the rest of the team?
Yeah, I mean, we always feed off of each other, Every time somebody makes a big play, the entire team gets hyped, offense, defense, special teams, and that just motivates us more to just get out there and go make another play and another play and another play.
Yeah, there you go, man. You guys made a lot of plays, and not only were you recognized by the conference, obviously being an All-MAC first team selection, Hero Sports, like I mentioned before, second team All-American according to their list. But the Hula Bowl sent you an invitation to show off your skill set in a Senior Bowl, so scouts can take a look and see, is this guy ready for the NFL level? Obviously, you and I both know you are. But
Definitely.
what are some of the skills that you're looking to show in this upcoming Hula Bowl, so scouts are ready to say your name on draft night?
I mean, I'm just looking to show my finesse, my twitch, the speed that I have behind his weight. Some guys tend to feel like, oh, he's a bigger dude. He probably can't move this quick, move this. No, like I'm real, real twitchy. I'm real finessey, and I like to show off a little bit of power too.
There you go, man. That's going to be a lot of great stuff that you're going to be able to show in that Hula Bowl. And now your collegiate career coming to an end, 5 years with the Huskies, now behind you in the past. Uh, you were a veteran player for this program this past season, like we talked about, a big time leader. And you're seeing what you're leaving behind. You're seeing some of the guys that are going to be coming back with a culture that is built on success from the 2024 year, as well as previous years prior. And you're also seeing some of the guys that are coming in from the transfer portal, high school that are coming in as freshmen to college. What are some of the biggest bright spots that you see for the Huskies entering the 2025 campaign?
um, Bright spots. I'll go with the D line room. I mean, ever since I've been here, the D line room has been nothing but great. We have a great group of coaches there, Coach Geely and Coach Moore. I mean, those are the best two coaches that you could ever ask for as a D lineman. Coach G is a literal genius when it comes to like any D line technique, like any of that stuff. And Coach Moore is a hype coach. Coach Moore, he gonna get you hype for the game. Like, he gonna get you hype for practice. He gonna get you hype for meetings. You know what I'm saying he's the rah rah guy. He gonna wake you up. He gonna make sure you ain't. You know what I'm saying just slacking around, moping around. Nah, he gonna be that guy to pick you up. And he's like that all practice. Like you will never hear Coach Moore quiet at practice. Like he's the same guy every single day. So that's the 1-2 punch that you would love in a D line room.
That's awesome to hear. You need coaches like that to help you guys
Yeah.
get better. Obviously, that help you produce into the high caliber player that you are. I love having high caliber players on for interviews. You guys have a great story to tell. Obviously, the great highlights to show off. And that's why I came up with this segment to help me get more people on that I like to call Who's Up Next. In this segment, you give me as many names as I should look out for to have on for this season of interviews, next season, and so on. With this segment, I got two rules though. Whichever names you recommend, you got to help me get them on, got to help me reach out. And number two, you got to give me at least one name where they were not a teammate of yours this past season at Northern Illinois.
Well, I know I'll say Skylar Gilhauer for sure. You got Jelani Williams, Roy Williams, um, Telly Johnson. All of those guys, they're up and coming for sure. Great, great guys, great athletes. Um, and you said one person that's not on my team?
Yeah,
Hmm. You know what? I don't know yet. I'm not sure.
that's
Oh. I like the guy from Miami of Ohio, the DN, number 8.
Brian Ugwu.
I like him a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, that I was actually going to ask you afterwards about reaching out to him because I saw he entered the
Yeah.
NFL draft today as well.
Yeah.
He's phenomenal. Uh,
Mhm.
between yourself, him. I'm supposed to have Kobe Stewart on from Buffalo later on this
Okay.
season.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's a whole lot of sacks throughout the MAC conference.
Yeah.
You guys are some of the best in the business. Obviously, you yourself, you just gave me a lot of great names for that Who's Up Next segment. So now we got to talk about what's next for you. Obviously, you're getting ready for the NFL draft, the combine. You got the Hula Bowl coming up. Uh, what are you really looking for after the Hula Bowl? You know, getting an agent, training, all that stuff to really prepare for the NFL level.
Yeah. Well, I'm already set up with the agent stuff. So I'm just excited to, just get to work. Like I got 2.5, 4 months of just football. Like I'm done with school. I don't got to worry about classes, none of that. It's just focusing on football, focus on getting my mental, my body, like all of that right. And I'm very excited to like learn, you know, um, new training techniques, just new stuff in general. I've been with NIU for the past 5 years, under the strength coach of Junie Barnett. I've learned a lot from Junie. Um, and I'm just, excited to, let's say, expand my palette, with other coaches.
Hey, there you go, man. That's awesome that you're ready to learn more about the game, learn from different coaches, and get ready for that professional level. No doubt in my mind, you're going to be in the NFL ranks soon, man. Congrats so much on a phenomenal career with Northern Illinois, helping them to so much success over the past few years. And best of luck to you in the draft and once you make it to the NFL ranks.
Thank you, man. Thank you.